many thumbs down this video is going to get. Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Makayla. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope that you take a second to subscribe. It's completely free and all it does is notify you when I upload a new video. It would also make me very, very happy if you did so. This video isn't really something that I ever thought / would want to create because I feel like if not done well, it can be seen as very negative. However, this is my #1 most asked question here on YouTube. I get this comment all the time. Many of you know that I spent a year and 2 months at a college called the College of Wooster, located in Wooster, Ohio. It was during this year that I started YouTube, so a lot of my first videos, I'll have them linked down below as well as like on the screen. A lot of them kind of talk about the institution and my time there. I posted one reflection video on it, and then I also just have college-themed videos where I'm very public about what institution I was at. And many of you also know that I decided to drop out suddenly the beginning of my sophomore year. Since then, I have received a lot of questions and comments on these videos on my channel as a whole, on Twitter even, and a lot of Instagram DMs asking more specifically what about this school made me want to leave. I thought it'd just be easier if I made a whole video as to why the College of Wooster was totally not for me, and I hope that you find this helpful. I just want to say right away though that there is nothing wrong with the school. It's a great college if it is the college for you, and that totally was not the case for me. So if you're looking at this school or if you attend the school, I'm trying not to kind of hate on that. I want to do my best to be respectful because younger Makayla did not do a very good job at this and kind of shit-talked the school a lot, but that was because I was so angry at specific situations regarding the school, I kind of let it get in the way. Now, to give a little background about kind of why I chose this school, because you might be wondering, okay, if you hate this school so much, Makayla, why on earth did you go there? I'm planning to do a video next on all of the schools that I applied to and those that I got accepted and rejected by, so give this video a thumbs up if that is something that you would like to watch. I visited the College of Wooster the weekend before May 1st, and if you are a senior in high school or are familiar with that date, that is basically the deadline that most American colleges have for when you need to deposit and make your decision as to where you're going to college the following year. So it was very last minute. I completely had no idea where I wanted to go. I kind of had it in my head that I would step onto a campus and just be like, yes, this is it. This is heaven. This is the school I want to go to. And that never really happened. Because of that, I feel like I didn't search. I don't know. There are a lot of regrets. I might do the regrets I have while applying to college or something like that. But basically, I visited the College of Wooster for the first and only time the weekend before I had to make a decision. I was very stressed out. It was the spring of my senior year, and I stayed with a girl. She was great, a great host, and I had one night, and all I was looking for while visiting the school was a red flag. I didn't find any. Of course not. I mean, I was visiting there for one night. There weren't going to be any red flags. It felt safe. It was secure. It reminded me of my high school, and it was finals week there, so everybody was very much into their exams. All I was looking for was, can you survive here? And I thought the answer was yes. So based on the fact that I had probably no other options and that the school was very generous and gave me a lot of money, I decided, okay, just go to the College of Wooster. It's a safety net. You won't have any debt. You can't go wrong. Just do it. So I did, and it never really felt right. And I've said this before in other videos where something was just kind of off, where I was like, oh, maybe you shouldn't have done that. But I didn't know what to do about that. So right away when I moved in for my freshman year, I started to notice things about the campus that I didn't before that made it really hard for me to settle in and adjust. #1, the campus is definitely too small for me. Incoming class had about 500 freshmen. That leaves the school at about roughly 2,000 students. I went to a high school that had 96 people in my grade and then about 400, not even maybe, high schoolers. So I thought, okay, 400 to 2,000, that's like 4 times the size. It'll be fine. It'll be a much bigger institution. I didn't think it was going to be that small, but oh my god, the College of Wooster is tiny, and I think everybody there knows that and can agree, and to some, they love it. Some people came from really, really huge high schools and they love that feeling of community, and some went to schools like mine and they wanted to keep that, so it's a good fit for them. And I thought it would be for me, but it really wasn't. The school was definitely too small. I ran into the same people every single day, which is both a blessing and a curse depending on that person, if you know what I mean. It was really hard to avoid certain people on campus that you may not want to see every single day just because there are no other paths to take really, and I really didn't like this. That being said, my classes were also very, very small, and I thought this would be a good thing because, class discussions, the professors will know you by name, but really, oh my god, every single class, it felt like such a big portion of the grade was focused on participation and group projects, and the professors put so much emphasis on discussion and getting to know your peers. I just wanted to hear a lecture, and I never really got a lecture, so I didn't like that as well. The second biggest thing about the College of Wooster that was not for me was its location. I thought the location of a school wasn't going to be that big of an issue for me because I thought, oh, it's just location, like I'll be happy wherever. But no, like please keep in mind the environment that you will be living in because it plays such a big role on like your mental state and just everything. The College of Wooster is in a very rural, oh my god, I can never say that word, countryside in isolated middle of nowhere, Ohio. I come from Minneapolis, which is pretty suburban, you know, it's a city, so like there's a lot going on. Basically, besides the actual college and campus, absolutely nothing. It was so countryside, it felt so isolating and stuck and just not my cup of tea. I'm trying not to use any like negative adjectives to describe it, but there are a lot in my head, not going to lie. I just could not take farmland and all that. I don't know why. Why did I ever think it was a good idea to go there? So yeah, the campus was just too small and the location of the school was just completely not for me. Also, another part of its location was the climate. I thought staying in the Midwest wouldn't make that big of a difference for the weather, but Ohio, oh my god, I had no idea how bipolar the weather would be. And I can say that because I have bipolar, so it's not offensive to me. I swear, you'd leave for class one morning in like a sweatshirt and an umbrella because it would be rainy and gloomy, and then you get out of your class 50 minutes later and it's sunny and it's hot and you have to change into like a dress because you're sweating, and then that afternoon it might be like freaking hailing for all you know. The weather could change instantly, and it often did, like 3 times during the day, and I did not like having to change or like not have that stability of nice or not nice weather. So the weather really got to me in a negative manner and I did not appreciate that. I wish the weather would just stay consistent. So that's something to keep in mind in case you were unfamiliar with Midwest or Ohio weather. That definitely took me by surprise. The next thing that kind of rubbed me the wrong way about this school, and this is the one where I just don't really know how to say it. Out of all of my instances with faculty members, not so much the professors, but anyone in the offices or when I had called the business office, financial aid, the student affairs place, I only had negative, very unprofessional encounters with these people, and that definitely turned me away from the school, unfortunately. Besides the admissions office, they were very nice. I actually went out to lunch with someone in admissions. I think she was the person that accepted me. I just felt like it was very unprofessional. Nobody was helpful. They were almost rude to me. I just feel like all these other offices had these like old ladies sitting in chairs that just did not give a fuck, and it was too obvious. I just didn't feel like I received the help that I was looking for. Nobody was nice about it. Besides students that worked in these offices, like students were fine, but it was just my mom would have to call in to deal either with financial aid or business stuff like that, and she would call me immediately after being so upset because they were unprofessional and rude to her, which of course makes you kind of feel like, oh, and on the inside whenever that happens. So that was another thing that just kind of like turned me away. When you are choosing a college, it's very important to realize that every single institution has its own personality. Every single school has its own quirky characteristic about it, and I thought, okay, a school is big, there will be a lot of different students and personalities, like I don't have to worry about this, but every single campus has its own vibe. This school definitely had its own quirky vibe to it. I thought that was just the majority and that I would be okay, but it was not my personality at all, and I just could not click with any of the students. Nobody was, I don't want to say nobody was like me, but nobody was like me, and it was really hard to make friends, and I thought it was me, and maybe it is me, but also it's the school and the fact that everybody there chose to go to this school, so they're already going to have that in common, and everyone there was just weird. I have a few good friends. Actually, I have like one that I still keep up with from the school, but other than that, it's not my person. It was really hard. I couldn't click with anyone, and that's kind of like a big red flag in my mind to leave because I just couldn't relate to anyone. Ugh. And the school makes the biggest deal about being such a diverse like institution, but honestly, besides skin color, there is no diversity at this institution. Everyone there is the same, and I couldn't find anyone different or like me, or just, I'm not saying I'm different, but I did feel kind of different from everyone. That was so not what I meant to say. This is a really small example, but like with YouTube, I would search the College of Wooster on YouTube and like no videos came up, and it made me kind of upset because I wanted to know students at the school and there were no like creative people online. So then I just started it. I just created my own YouTube channel. I was actually FaceTiming with a friend who still attends the College of Wooster, and she was saying, I'm thinking about starting a YouTube channel because nobody here does that. Well, besides you, even though I left. And I told her to go for it because that was one of the reasons why I started mine, is that nobody at the College of Wooster did so. I needed some of those videos that weren't available to me, so I just made them myself. Going off of the kind of limited availability of this school, I know a lot of this has to do with just the size of the institution and how tiny it is, but there just were not enough resources. I mean this in the sense that housing was very limited. Of course, I went there a few years ago, so maybe they have changed things. I don't really know. Another limited resource is food, because it is in the middle of nowhere. They had one main dining hall, which had okay food. Actually, I honestly had such a hard time finding food. Then they have a smaller side dining hall called Kittredge, if I remember, and they called it Kit. Was it Kittredge? We're going to Kit. I don't fucking know. It's been too long. Anyway, this had more organic, like vegetarian options, which kind of turned a lot of people away, but I would prefer to go to this dining hall just because it was easier to find like a few food items. But you only had like 2 places to get food. Of course, they say like, oh, we have the campus store with more food. There's like a drugstore a few blocks down. There was just nothing. I ended up ordering a lot of food online from like Amazon and stuff and getting it shipped to my dorm just because like I just didn't have enough options. Another really kind of more serious thing about limited resources was in regards to mental health. I've shared a little bit about it, but I don't really talk about it specifically on here, which I should. I'm not trying to hide it from you, but I have a lot of mental health shit, and it was really important to me that I had kind of like, not safe space, but like support system. There we go, that's the word I was looking for. The College of Wooster does have 3 to 4 therapists or counselors that you can talk to, as well as they call it like a 24-hour walk-in or like on-call. So by the sound of it, I thought I would be safe, but my first issue was kind of at this time of year 2 years ago when I was a freshman. I tried to make an appointment with someone to talk to. They said like, okay, the next availability is like November 28th, and it was still October, and I was like, that's in like 4 weeks. By the time I actually get to see someone to talk to, I'm going to be dealing with completely different issues. Like, this won't even be relevant. And I had like low-key suicidal thoughts, so I was like, I might not even be here at that point. And of course, at this point they say, is it an emergency? And I have a tendency to downplay my issues, so of course in my head it was like, no, I'm fine, like, sorry, that just won't work for me. And I hung up the phone, didn't get an appointment. I think it was either that night or the following night. It just kept getting worse. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go to their walk-in appointments and talk to somebody on call because I need to talk to someone. So it's like 10 p.m. on a weeknight, and I walk over to their wellness center. There was this really cute male nurse working, and I was just kind of like but besides that, I tell him that like, is there someone on call? Like, I need to talk to someone and all that stuff. And he tells me like, okay, so-and-so is on call tonight. She is about 40 minutes away at home. Should we call her, or do you need her to come down here in person? I felt so bad. I didn't want this woman to have to drive 40 minutes away just to talk to me when I knew that I would be okay. It made me upset though. I didn't have someone to talk to, and it wasn't an emergency. Like, I was safe, but at the same time, I needed someone, and I didn't have someone. So I walked back to my dorm feeling worse than before. And that's kind of when I knew that like, this school sucks and I need to leave. Something else worth noting about the College of Wooster is the way that they view their Greek life. I know that the institution refuses to recognize Greek life as like a national thing. I don't know the correct terminology, so I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but I do know that Greek life is not granted housing on campus due to instances in the past. I think they got it revoked. A lot of the professional faculty members and like people in the offices refuse to recognize Greek life, and it's viewed in this negative kind of like perspective by the officials. I know that peers and students view Greek life differently. Some people are very stereotypical about it. There's this stigma if you were in a sorority on campus, which I really didn't like. I considered rushing at the beginning of my freshman year because I was trying to make friends. However, there just were not a lot of sororities in Greek life to choose from. I started picking up on peers that each sorority and frat had a different stereotype about it, and the one that I was looking into specifically because I blended well with the girls in it and I had gone out with them a few nights, people told me that that is the sorority that are known for being sluts and for snorting coke, and that really made me upset because I kind of liked the people that I was talking to, and I would hate for anyone else to know that I was in this sorority and then assume that I did those two things or were defined by that. Keep in mind that these sororities were tiny. They were like friend groups. This one sorority had like 30 people in it, and like maybe like 7 people pledged or rushed or whatever. That's so small. So within that, you're going to have cliques and like friend group issues and drama, and I really didn't want that, so I decided not to rush. And I wish that Greek life was viewed differently at this school, because I think it has a chance to be really cool, but it was seen more as like a club at the College of Wooster. I mean, some are great, some frats are awesome. This was my own experience with it. And overall, kind of just the main thing about why the College of Wooster was not for me is because I never felt myself at this school. That sucks. Like, I want to feel good in my own skin and I want to feel like me, and I never got that while at this school. I got a lot of high anxiety and stress and sadness. It wasn't me, it wasn't my personality. I couldn't be my best self. And I know that a lot of this could be impacted by just your first year of college and the whole transition thing. So that's why I came back my second year as a sophomore, because I thought I could do it. I'd give it another shot. Like, everything was going to be different. I'd be in a new dorm, new classes, like I can do this, right? So I came back and I made it to not even like October before breaking down and crying and wanting to come back home, which I did in October because I just couldn't do it. I'm glad I gave it a chance because I feel like I would regret never knowing, but now I know, so I left. And yeah, this school was just not for me, but it might be for you, and I don't want anyone to be turned away from this institution. I just felt like this video was necessary based on the overall amount of questions and concerns that I get by potential applicants and students that either attend this college or are thinking about it or got accepted but aren't sure. The College of Wooster is known for having great academics. It is a really good liberal arts school if it is the type of school that you're looking into, and they do give really great financial aid packages. I am very thankful for the one that I was given because it was the only reason that I could attend the school. I am debt-free for the years that I attended the school at. I mean, I'm in debt now, but that's because I've transferred. And although a lot of the student body and personality didn't mesh with mine, there were a lot of really nice people that I met, and I do not want to let that go unnoticed, because to those that did talk to me, reach out, or were just kind, thank you, because I appreciate it, and I know that a lot of us still talk. And although I had some negative experiences, I also had a lot of positive experiences on campus, and I don't want those to go unnoticed or remembered because they are important to me. Anyway, I hope that this video helped. If you are looking into the school and have more questions, feel free to leave them down below. I always respond. And just best of luck to those that are applying and thinking about colleges. Let me know if there's anything else that you want me to talk about. And with all that being said, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you in my next video. I just got back from class. Oh my god. You need to stop whistling if you're going to be right there. Because I can hear it and I'm trying to film. So go to your room and whistle if you want to whistle.